Hello everybody, welcome back to Bandwagon Sports, and today I'm going to be going over my top 15 draft rankings for the 2022 NHL entry draft, and this is really early. This is about a year away, this 2022 draft, but I really want to make this video with what I've seen from these guys so far, and there's probably going to be a lot of surprises, and there's going to be a lot of, good players in this draft, and I'm really excited to get to know these players a bit more. So without further ado, let's hop into today's episode with pick number 15. So here at number 15, I have American-born defenseman Seamus Casey, and I cannot stress enough how good this guy looks in the offensive zone. Seamus Casey is basically the offensive Luke Hughes of this draft class. Excellent player. He currently sits at 5'9", 161, and is 17 years of age. And this year in the USNDP U17 program, in 76 games played, he had 10 goals, 46 assists for 56 points, and excellent player. He has excellent footwork for one. He just zooms up the neutral zone. I was watching highlights, and he is impressive. He has top-tier dangling. This guy looks like a forward out on the ice, and I believe that Seamus Casey might be a Brent Burns situation where you could play him as a forward and a defenseman, and just excellent hockey IQ as well. The cons with Seamus Casey is he is a defensive liability, and he has small size at 5'9", but you know what? I think the offensive prowess and ability is enough to, kind of offset those issues, and I think that he can be a great top four defenseman for any NHL team one day, so let's move on to number 14. And now, here at number 14, I have Swedish center Noah Auslan, and Noah Auslan, again, another really impressive player in this draft class, currently sits at 5'10", 161 pounds, so kind of like a Seamus Casey, undersized, which is really the only big downside I have for Noah Auslan, but really excellent player on both sides of the ice. This year in the Swedish U20 League, in 10 games played, he had 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points, and really does kind of remind you of a guy like William Eklund playing for Djurgården. I really do see a lot of William Eklund in Noah Auslan. I do think that Eklund's a lot better of a prospect, but Noah Auslan definitely does have that offensive potential like a William Eklund, and it really shows on the ice. He has good hockey IQ. Just a flawless all-around game. Just excellent two ways. He can get it done in the defensive zone. He can get it done in the offensive zone. And he has a really accurate shot and just a really great shooting ability as well. Honestly, just an overall great player, and I think any team would be happy to have Auslan, so let's move on to number 13. And now, coming in here at number 13, I have another American-born player. This time, it is center Jack DeVine, or Jack DeVine. I don't really know, but anyways, that's not the point. Jack DeVine, excellent center, playmaker type of player. 5'11", 172, so decent size. Nothing that's really going to, be a big concern or a big strength. But excellent playmaking ability. He has great offensive instincts, and it was really hard for me to find highlights on Jack DeVine. I did my best. I found a few clips. But this year in 30 games played in the USNDP U18 program, he had 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points. And just excellent season. He really showed those offensive instincts off in the U18 program, and definitely a guy I could see being a good top 6 center one day, and with that playmaking ability especially. So let's move on to pick number 12. And here at number 12, I have the first Canadian on the list, and that is Canadian defenseman Tristan Luongo. And Tristan Luongo is a big riser this year, but he is 6'2", 174 pounds, and this year for Gatineau in the QMJHL in 31 games played, he had 4 goals, 14 assists for 18 points, and honestly did show a lot of improvement from I don't even know if he played last season, but he did really show a lot of potential to be a good top 4 two-way kind of defenseman one day, and, he has a big hard shot. I really liked what I saw from his highlights. He has a great offensive instincts. He's honestly just really good in his own end. He's really good in his own, really good in the offensive zone as well, and, just overall a really great player, good potential as well. But the one thing I did find with Luongo's highlights is he's not a very good skater. He's just kind of slow and sluggish, skating back and forth, which is the only downside I saw to Luongo's game. But other than that, he is a great player. So let's move on to number 11. And at number 11, I have Finnish winger Joachim Kimmel. And Joachim Kimmel, whoa! He's a good-looking player. So, anyways, Joachim Kimmel, 5'11", 176 pounds, born in Finland, obviously, and in 38 games played this year, he had 22 goals, 14 assists for 36 points for YIP U20, which is a basically an OHL kind of system in Finland, but really, really great player. He really showed off his goal scoring ability this year. He is a high-end goal scorer. He has smooth footwork. He's a very fast kind of skater, and he has really good hands as well. I saw that, he could really move the puck with ease past defenders. Really not a bad player at all. First line potential for sure. The only issue I saw with him is he takes maybe a little bit too much penalties. He did have 51 penalty minutes this year, which isn't awful, but still, if you're playing an 82 game schedule, that's going to be, in the 100, 110 range, which is not very good at all. You definitely want to tone down those penalties, but overall, I thought Kimmel was a great player this year in Finland U20 League. And let's move on to number 10. And here at number 10, I have another pretty big riser for me, at least, after this U18s especially, though, and that is Russian winger Daniil Yurov. And Daniil Yurov is excellent, and he really showed a lot at this U18 tournament. He was one of the point leaders of the tournament, but, even great in his own league. In 23 games this year in the MHL for Magnitogorsk, he had 13 goals, 12 assists for 25 points, and he even played 21 games in the KHL as well, really proving that this guy is mature enough to play with men, and he's a really strong skater. He has a really high IQ, two-way ability, awesome hands. I really just love everything with Daniil Yurov, and honestly, I could keep going on and on with things that I could list that are excellent about his game. The only concern I really saw with him is he tries to do too much sometimes. Sometimes he'll go into a defender and really just show a lot of confidence, which is great, but maybe too much confidence, just really trying to, blow the skates off the defender, which I really do think is not something that, you should try to do more than not. I definitely think that you should definitely try to look for other options on the ice, but overall, Daniil Yurov, really great player. I like everything that I saw from him except for the overconfidence bit, and really great player. So let's move on to number 9. And here at number 9, I have another American player, and that is American center, I believe center, Robby McGroarty. And, I really do like what I see from this guy as well. 6'1", 198, really great player out of the USA program. He played for the USA U17 program this year, and in 64 games put up 29 goals, 25 assists for 54 points, and just a really great player, honestly. He has great two-way offensive skills, and I'll explain this. What I mean by two-way offensive skills is he can play make and he can pass. There's your two-way forward, which can play forward and defense, and I have my two-way offensive player that can play, that can shoot and play make. So that's just a quick explanation of that. He also has big size at 6'1", 198, really good heavy player, and he's a decent all-around skill guy. Just honestly doesn't have a lot of opening and holes in his game. Just really a solid kind of contributor at either end of the ice. The only issue I saw with Rutger here is that he has a below-average speed. Watching his highlights, him skating is really kind of hard to watch, just like Tristan Luongo, just a really kind of slow, sluggish skater, and I didn't really enjoy watching him skate that much, but he definitely has a skill, and if he can improve that skating, he's going to be a great NHL player one day. So, excellent player here. Let's move on to number 8. And here at number 8, I have one of my favorite players in this draft class, and that is USA-born Frank Nazar. And Frank Nazar, only 5'9", 163, which is one of his, cons, but that's okay, because he really does make up for it in the offensive zone. In 76 games played this year, he had 48 goals, 43 assists for 91 points, and was an absolute dynamo in the offensive zone. He's a very fast skater, the exact opposite of a guy like Tristan Luongo or Robby McGroarty. Just blows by defenders, just zoom. He has great puck protection skills, which, really are to his benefit with that undersized frame. And also, he is all just overall offensively dominant. He can pass, he can shoot, he can do everything in the offensive zone. But like I said, he is undersized, and he does lack the defensive aspect of the game. Just a really not great defender, somewhat below average, but I do think that, that defense is suitable with what you're getting for that offensive skill, and just a really excellent player I see here in Frank Nazar, a definite potential first liner at the NHL one day, and I'm really happy to see where he goes. So let's move on to number 7. At number 7, I have Czech-born defenseman David Jiricek, and woo! This guy is fire. So David Jiricek this year in 2020-21, obviously, he played 34 games in the number 1 Czech league, and he had 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. really great stat line there for a 16, 17-year-old, and just an excellent player. He's a very mature player, which really shows in the amount of games played he had in the main Czech league this year. He was excellent. He really didn't look out of place at all. He has a huge slap shot. He can just wind up and bomb that thing to the net. Excellent slap shot, like a Zdeno Chara, Shea Weber type of player right there for sure. And he is a fluid skater. He does look very good skating back and forth. He's a very fine edge defender, and that really is to his benefit in his game. The only thing that I really see as a con is he's slightly undisciplined. Again, like what's his name? I don't know, but Joachim Kimmel. He does take a bit of penalties. He had 34 penalty minutes this year in 34 games, which isn't awful, but again, in an 82-game schedule, that equivalates to 82 penalty minutes, and that's really not what you want to be seeing out of your players. But overall, David Jiricek is an excellent defenseman in this draft class. He's right-handed shot too, which slightly raises his value, and he has a huge size at 6'3". So excellent player here at Jiricek. Let's move on to number 6. And here at number 6, I have yet another American-born player, and there are so many of them in this top 20. And this one is Isaac Howard. And Isaac Howard, excellent player, 5'10", 174 pounds. And this year in the USA U18 program, in 21 games he had, not 21 games, sorry, 17 games. He had 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points. Really did not look out of place at all, over a point per game, and a really great player overall. He's a very deceptive player. He really does, use mind games on defenders to get around them more than, puck handling, but he also is a very strong puck handler that when he needs to, he can, dangle around a defender with ease. And he's also a huge offensive threat. I really don't see any big negatives with a guy like Isaac Howard. His size is okay. It's nothing to be really concerned about. But, overall, just a great player. And any team would be happy to have him. So let's move on to the top 5. And here at number 5, I have American center, the last American on this list, and that is Jack Hughes. And no, I am not talking about Jack Hughes for the New Jersey Devils. This is another Jack Hughes, funnily enough, and they're both from America, and they're both in the USNDP, and it's really confusing. But anyways, this Jack Hughes is 6 foot, 165 pounds, and he's a really good player, pretty not similar to Jack Hughes, but, a playmaker. This year in the USNDP U18 program, he played 52 games, 9 goals, 33 assists for 42 points, and was really good. He's a real good player with some pure playmaking skills. High-end hockey IQ. He can really see a play, far before it happens, which is a really great asset to have in today's NHL. It's really a necessity. Also, he has some really nice natural offensive instincts. He does need to be a bit more consistent with his scoring, kind of like a Noel Gunler of 2019, with a little bit more potential, I would say. And he's also not an excellent skater. He does have some, downfalls when it comes to skating, but overall a really great player. Will probably be a first line guy if he reaches his potential. And I really like Jack Hughes, so let's move on to number 4. Here at number 4, I have the best defenseman in the draft class in my opinion, and that is a Slovakian defenseman, and his name is Simon Nemec, or Simon Nemec. I don't exactly know, but this is a great right-handed shot defenseman. He's 6'1", 192, good size, right-handed shot, which is, a real tough position to find, and he's excellent. This year in the Slovakian league for HK Nitra, in 37 games, he put up 2 goals, 17 assists for 19 points, and he is an excellent defenseman, very fluid skater. He can really move his legs around the ice with really no ease at all. He has some great natural offensive instincts, just like Jack Hughes. He had 19 points in the top Slovakian league, and he was also excellent in every tournament he played. He even played in the World Championships for Slovakia and had a point there. And he's a really solid puck handler, just really clean around the net in his own zone and the offensive zone. Just a really great overall player. The only thing I kind of see is he could work on the defense a little bit. He is a two-way defenseman, I think. But, playing in the top league in Slovakia, obviously as a 17-year-old, he will have his, downfalls. And I really do think that he just needs to work on the defensive game a little bit. But overall, Simon Nemec, or Nemec, I don't really know. Excellent player, and really no complaints whatsoever with him. So let's move on to the top 3. And I just want to say one thing. This top 3 was really, really tough to make because all 3 of these guys are just so similar in skill, and it's really a minuscule amount what they're separated by right now for me. So getting into pick number 3 for the top players in 2022, I have Canadian Matthew Savoie. And Matthew Savoie is a great player, don't get me wrong. I just think that he is the worst out of these guys, but he is still an excellent player nonetheless. And Savoie, 5'10", 181 pounds, excellent player, 17 years old. This year in 2020-21, in 34 games, put up 21 goals, 17 assists for 38 points for Dubuque or something in the USHL, and over a point per game for a -1 draft year player is excellent. The USHL is not a league to laugh at anymore. It's definitely grown a reputation over the past 5 years, and Savoie proved that he's one of the best players in it already. He has McDavid-like speed. First of all, his speed is outstanding. He blows guys in the dust. This guy could be a future fastest skater in the NHL winner, no doubt about it. He flies. He has a great accurate shot. He doesn't have an overwhelming shot, but he definitely has a great accurate shot, just one that kind of does fluster goaltenders with the accuracy numbers and all that. And also he has hands of silk, which, he can dangle past defenders with ease in the USHL. Honestly, everything that I see from Savoie is excellent. There's really no big downfalls in his game that I see that are really a big issue, and I just think that he's going to be an excellent NHL player one day, and I'm really excited to see him. So let's get on to the second best prospect. So now, here at number 2, this guy is also great. Savoie and this guy, which is named Brad Lambert, are literally the smallest amount away possible. These guys are just super similar in skill level, and I just think that Lambert's a bit better because of the league he's playing in. And yes, my number 2 pick is Brad Lambert. Excellent player. He's 6 foot, 179, and plays in the league as a 16, 17 years old. He's playing in a league with men, which is excellent. This year in 46 games, he had 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points, and a -24, which is worth noting, I think, because that is really not great. And that's really the only downside I have with Lambert, where he's not very defensive at all. He's really a pure one-way offensive player, but with the offense, he has an overwhelming shot, which is accurate, it is fast, it is hard, it is everything you want out of an offensive player and a shooter like Brad Lambert, and he just blows a shot away. Just an excellent shot. He's also dynamic offensively. He's just excellent. Just overall, everything offensively for Lambert is excellent. Honestly, that's really the summary of Brad Lambert. The word excellent is Brad Lambert. But, I have one more good thing here, and that is a high-end skating ability. He's not as good as Savoie at skating. Nobody in this class is, but he can really drill down the ice. He has some really fluid motions with his feet. He's a fast skater, he's a quick skater, he's deceptive, and all of that is really great. So I think Brad Lambert is the second best prospect in this draft, and I think the number 1 pick is obvious, but I'm going to talk about him. Let's get into that. And the number 1 pick in the 2022 NHL draft, at least the draft rankings right now, I have Canadian center Shane Wright. And Shane Wright did not play at all this year, except for the U18s, which really could stunt his growth. That is a big concern for me, at least going into next year, whether Shane Wright's going to be able to pick up and really take off with that number 1 spot, especially with Lambert and Savoie so close behind. But he was great this year, at least, and in 5 games in the U18s, he put up 9 goals, 5 assists for 14 points, and really didn't show any sign of slowing down his development, which is great for guys who love Shane Wright. I'm personally not a huge fan, but I do see the skill, and that is why he's number 1 for me. Okay, so let's just get into the pros, because there's really only pros here. He is a playmaker with the snipers released. First of all, Shane Wright has an excellent hockey IQ, and he's an excellent playmaker, but you see in his rookie season, he has more goals than assists by far, and there's a reason for that. He can shoot like Steven Stamkos, Alex Ovechkin, Patrick Kane, some of the league's best shooters. He's right there with them. He can shoot like a sniper, and he can also pass the puck just as good as a guy like Nicholas Backstrom. It's really all there. He is a very powerful skater, very fluid skater as well. Really nothing to complain with his footwork, and he can really just blow by defensemen with his puck protection skills and his body. Just really great with that 6'1" frame. Really does him some wonders sometimes when trying to pass defenders. It's excellent, and also he has good instincts all across the ice. Like I said, like a number 1 pick, you really don't want any flaws with him, and Shane Wright has no flaws. He has everything down to a science at this point on the ice, and it's really excellent to see him do that, and I really do think that he is the best prospect in this 2022 draft. So yeah, those are my picks for the top 15 in this draft class. And, well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. This one took me a few days to make. If you notice, I changed shirt 3 times throughout the video, but yeah, I am taking a little bit of a break. I'm kind of slowing it down here on the Bandwagon Sports channel recently, just because I have lost a little bit of interest in making videos every single day. And HLM and BBLM, the future of those might change, especially BBLM, but I do thank you guys so much for all the support anyways. I mean, we are at 15,000 views by the time this video comes out. I'm going to assume we are, at least. We should be, but that is, like, crazy for me. That is awesome. Thank you all so much for watching the videos, and it means a whole lot to me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. But for now, bye.